Hello, hello. Mm. 1 second, guys. Just want to make sure there's only one live stream. And there is. All right. So, welcome. Welcome to the Emmy Evolving channel. My name is Emmy. I got so caught up in things that my brain is still not quite caught up. Oh my goodness. My brain never catches up. Let's be real here. All right. So I'm going to be doing a reading. Before I start, let me get some cards ready for us. All right. Love this deck. All right, guys. So before we start, I kind of just want to go over a few things. We're launching a new series, and the series is the Dear Emmy series. Okay. If you have any questions, any situation that you're struggling with, and you would like me to give you some type of guidance, this is completely free. You just go to soulworksynergistics.com, excuse me, / Dear-Emmy. And you can submit your question. You do have the option of, being anonymous. You can select that, and I won't say your name. And through these questions, we're still trying to create a schedule. And once we have that, I'm going to be selecting at least one person at least once a week and reading your question while I'm live and giving you the guidance that my heart is encouraging me to give. And the whole point here is for all of us to see how much we go through that is so similar to other people, and that you're really not the only one going through this. You're not alone in your struggle. And it's my hope that in answering someone's question, that you'll get your question answered as well. So you're a little bit shy. I'm actually very shy in real life. I know, you can't believe it, right? I'm actually very shy in real life, and I wouldn't be able to ask my question even in email form. Just very skittish. And so this would be an awesome way for us to kind of get our question answered, right? Another thing I kind of want to share is if you want to book a private session with me, say you have some energetic needs that need to be taken care of, you go to soulworksynergistics.com / Emmy-services. Everything Emmy, everything from my projects to any type of fundraisers I'm having, you just go to soulworksynergistics.com and it's all there. It's all in the menu. You can look at all the different links that I'm putting up on the screen right now. It's literally all there. If you'd like to help us build the sanctuary, we're starting. Okay. We're starting. I finally have the 2 missing components that I personally needed to push forward. We are doing this. This is going to happen this year. This is going to happen this year. And if you can't help with donations right now, that's totally okay. The best way you can help us is by sharing out that link. Okay. Soulworksynergistics.com / sanctuary. And also the raffle. Soulworksynergistics.com. Wait. Oh, it's right at the bottom. It's right at the bottom. Okay. To enter to win our raffle. So today's reading, trying to forget you, but not being able to. This is intense, 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 intense. There is someone thinking of you. They're thinking of you. They're thinking of you. They can't stop. I'm just saying. They can't stop thinking of you. And it's just one of those things where you're going to kind of have to hear what needs to be said today. I mean, unless you don't want to hear, at which point, okay, I just dropped a whole bunch. That's good enough. That is good enough. I cannot mess around today. I have a whole bunch of things scheduled. All right. All right. One more shuffle. All right. Final deck. And then we're going to start. How are you guys doing? The energy feels very productive today, very hopeful. Oops. That one wants to come out. Just amazing energy today. I think I have an eyelash in my eye. I'm not going to get it out. All right. Let's start. Okay. So, Guardian, it's necessary for you to guard your energy right now. Okay. Just really, really guard your energy. Allow yourself to be very, very selective of who you allow around you, at least for the next week or so. There's a lot of things that are shifting. There's a lot of consciousness corrections that are going on for people who are willing to ascend to the next level. Not all of us are going to choose to understand life and ourselves on a higher level. Okay. For, quite a few of us, we're going to not choose to do that. It's okay. It's not our job to make sure that everyone is on the same exact page that we're on. We're not all supposed to be on the same page. We're not even all supposed to be reading the same book. So we have to allow people to kind of just be in their process, like literally just be in their process while we are in our own. Okay. There's a likelihood, not for everyone, but there is a likelihood that for some, involving yourself in someone else's, struggles, lesson, cycle, however you want to call it, is an attempt to try and derail you and your progress. Sometimes that's how creation will test to see if you've learned the previous lesson. They will present it to you as someone else, as someone else's problem. And you have to be careful about entering into this unrecognized savior complex. Okay. It doesn't sound good, but there's really no other way to put it. When we think it's our job to save everyone from their life, that is a savior complex. And if you don't like that term, you have to make sure you're never guilty of being accurately labeled as that, as having that. Okay. I know for me, I don't like that term. I find it a little bit offensive. So then that tells me it's triggering something in me. What's it triggering? Well, I did have a savior complex for quite a while where I felt like I was not being a good person unless I was saving everyone, even at my detriment. Like it didn't even matter if I had the ability to help you. I would help you anyways. And that's martyrdom. That's not me being a good person. That is me being insecure and trying to prepay for my space in your life. That is me trying to overgive in order to convince you to allow me to be a part of your life. It doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It means I have a lot of wounds within myself that need my attention. Okay, that's all that means. That's all that means. Not just for me, but also for any of you who, struggle with a little bit of that savior complex, who, feels like you have to help everyone or you're being a bad person. Some people do need help. Most people just need to know that you are there in case they do. Okay. And that's what I'm learning. Most people don't need me to do it for them. They just need the reassurance of my presence as they attempted to do it themselves. Balance in reverse. So the balance is skewed, okay? I don't know if it's you or if it's someone else. I'm assuming this reading is about someone else because trying to forget you, but not being able to. I'm assuming this is about someone else. This is someone who quite possibly, it's the same dang reading. I just felt the energy of it. It's the same dang reading. Hold on. Mhm. Mhm. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. Okay. It's the same dang reading. Okay. So this is someone who's upside down in their perception. They don't really know what to make of they don't really know what to make of how they feel, how they see you. Awakening in reverse. This is like almost like an avoidance. Okay. It's like they're trying to avoid the inevitable. And what is the inevitable? That they're going to admit to themselves that they're trying to invite you back into their lives. Invocation, this attempt to try and like call you and your energy back. I don't necessarily feel like they're doing spell casting or anything like that on you. I think it's just such a deep sense of longing that it registers as like just really trying so hard to will you back into their life, which like, ooh, ooh, manifestation, manifestation. They're trying to will you back into their life, you know? They're trying to manifest this opportunity for you to be back in their life. Um, why? Well, because you create a sense of stability for them. I don't necessarily get a very in your face type of romantic aspect to this. It's almost like it's just they want stability and you provide them that. Your presence, your mindset, your outlook, the way you see things, the way you perceive, the way you live. So, imagination and ethos. They're realizing that the environment that they're in, the mindset, it's based on imagination. It's based on very distorted, very convoluted personal opinion. There's no structure to it outside of, imprisonment type structures. They're probably wanting and are ready to be a free thinker, to exist kind of on their own terms, and their environment is not allowing them to do that. I'm just saying, baby boo, come into my environment. You don't need me to allow you to do anything. You are grown. And if you are not grown, I will step in as your surrogate mother and totally encourage you to be confident in the decisions you make for yourself. I am so huge on encouraging people to decide things for themselves, to really exercise that sovereign free will, that discernment, that cognitive ability. You have to begin living your life on your terms. And it's this thing of, well, for some people, they can do that. But like for me, I can feel someone, the essence of the thought. For me, I can't do that. Why can't you do that? Because someone didn't give you permission to think for yourself? You don't need their permission because you've never thought for yourself before. And so what if you get it wrong? Well, your perceived failures are opportunities for you to learn how to do it differently, quite possibly more efficiently. There is nothing negative about your process of learning, nothing at all. And I'm kind of wondering if, uh, for the person that, really just is so hell bent on their environment, giving them permission, getting the support they need. Honey, if you're in an environment that is super toxic, I mean, they're never going to give you permission to be free. So if you're waiting for them to give you permission, that's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And if you allow yourself to become aware of where you're at within your journey, meaning, becoming aware of this unnecessary, unrealistic expectation of your environment supporting you wholeheartedly before you step forward, that can greatly empower you, where you can begin to see, like, okay, so it's not really my environment that's holding me back. It's more of my expectations of my environment empowering me that's holding me back. One thing that I realized through my life experiences, if someone can benefit off of the person that I am right now, they are not going to support the person I'm becoming unless they can benefit from that person as well. Really let that sink in. Really allow yourself to hear what I just said. If they cannot benefit from the person you are becoming, they will not encourage that growth. Not everyone is like this. But let's be real here. A lot of people are. A lot of people will shame you, will guilt you into not changing. Like, oh, you've changed. Well, of course, because I continue to live and I continue to grow and I'm going to continue to change. When people want you to stay in the same spaces, those same stagnant pools of very depressive type stuff, like, you're not allowed to be who you are. You're not allowed to change. You're not allowed to like other things. You're not allowed to think differently. You're not allowed to read things that expand your consciousness and your awareness of that consciousness. Like, no, you're not allowed to. I've existed in so many environments like that. And every single time I've allowed myself to be part of those types of environments, it's been a full-on war to exit. A full-on war to exit. I'm not talking about romantic relationships, because romantic relationships, once it's done, it's done. It's just done. For me, it's done. Friendships, communities, things like that, that's been stuff that is very, very difficult to exit. Think of, being very devoutly religious, okay? Not saying religion is bad, not saying that religion is the root of all evil. I'm saying religion functions in certain ways. So, if you are devoutly religious, some of the things that could happen in your devoutly religious circle once you decide to exit is you will be shunned. You will be very much ignored, excommunicated. The people who you have loved for how long, the people who serve as your entire world, just because now your opinions are differing, you no longer exist. Not all religions do that, but quite a few do. Quite a few do, including my religion. Yeah. The one that I was born into. The moment I began to say things, speak on things that were not pre-approved, I learned to stop talking real fast. As a child, I learned to stop talking very, very quickly. Okay. Sometimes the ethos is the very thing that serves as that binding guilt and shame. Snip that. Just take out your little clippers and snip it. Snip it, let it fall to the floor, and just step forward. That's it. That's it. It doesn't always have to be this huge thing. Let them fight about it. One of the things that I learned, when people want to fight my exit, I'm already gone. They can fight all they want. I'm not there. This applies to spiritual communities as well. I was part of a couple of spiritual communities in the beginning because I felt like if I was part of a community, then, I would be much safer and I wouldn't face ostracism. I wouldn't face as much ridicule, kind of like safety in numbers, right? Wrong. Spiritual communities are just like religious ones. You have to believe what they believe, or, you know, you're the black sheep. And that's when I learned to actually truly be free. I don't need someone else to be safe. I am capable all on my own. Now, it is nice to have other people present. That's nice. Having like minded, like heart individuals, that's beautiful. That's like the icing on the cake. But is it necessary? Sweet bread is sweet bread. It just becomes cake when you put icing on it. Still yummy. It's absolutely still yummy, right? It's still yummy. You can have this deliciously beautiful life of growth if that's what you want. But you have to choose that for yourself. And I think for this person, they're getting to a point where all of these things that I've just said absolutely applies to them in their life, and their environment is not supportive of their growth. And maybe you already went through that process and that's why they cannot stop thinking of you, because you represent the end result of their investment in themselves. I mean, if that's the case, if that's why they want to step forward, I mean, mm, mm. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Whew, that's a beautiful thing, because then that's someone who, in my eyes, they're an equal. They're equally free. They're equally in love with life and consciousness and awareness expansion. That is a profound thing. It's a profound thing. Very, very profound thing. Concealment in reverse. This is something, their differences with their environment is no longer something they can hide. It's creating so much triggering in their environment. I'm aware of what happened, Marlene. I'm aware of that momentary lapse in judgment. I'm aware. So, protection in reverse. I think as whoever this is goes through their process, um, they'll have moments of triggering that will cause them to kind of revert back to old behavioral patterns, kind of like, I guess, for lack of a better word, a relapse. I don't necessarily feel like this ties into substance use. Um, when I say relapse, it's more like exposing yourself to that same toxic and intoxicating, horrendous environment. You know what I mean? Like just going back one last time, like one last time, hanging out with people who are bad for you one last time. And, that's kind of a lapse in judgment. If you've already exited out of these toxic environments and you go back, there's a potentiality that you probably will be stuck there for a bit. You're restarting the whole process all over, right? Um, it's just one of those things. Maybe you needed to experience that one more time. Or maybe you wanted to just punish yourself one more time. Who knows? Who knows? Their goal is to create a foundation, a homeland. And I feel like you are the foundation, you are the homeland that they're trying to recreate, that they're looking for, right? Let's see. Queen of Autumn. Generous, stylish, gracious, practical. Be practical with respect to how you proceed. The ability to make anything more beautiful. Meeting someone who can help your dreams come true. So I feel like this ties to you. You have the ability to make anything more beautiful. Meeting someone who can help your dreams come true. Ooh. Ooh, let me not say that. Um, mm, okay, just totally off topic, but it popped in my head. If any of you are, aware of a person or if it's you that could help me with some fundraising type activities, definitely reach out. Definitely reach out. It is absolutely my dream and has been my dream for quite a few years to get this sanctuary actually started, like a physical campus started. It's absolutely my dream. And so I don't really like to ask people of things. That's why I was like, don't say that. But that's what the card tells me for my personal message. I think for you guys, meeting someone who can help your dreams come true, let's take the romantic aspect out of that because it could have a romantic aspect. For most, it probably doesn't. For most, it probably is more to do with someone who can help to realign your perception with your reality. What you perceive and the reality of what you're perceiving are sometimes two different things. Okay. Like loving someone because of their potential versus loving someone as they are, two different things, two separated, two different things. So this is probably a person who either sees you or they are this for you. This is someone who can help your dreams come true. Like enter into this wholeness, enter into a space of being a whole person. Okay. Yes, Lindsay, please post the email to contact us. 10 of Autumn, take steps to ensure the financial security of your children or other loved ones, making wise investments or planning for retirement, honoring family traditions. This is kind of telling me like someone is considering investing in you. And there is this like essence of like you're their soul family. You know, you are their soul family. So if you would like to contact us regarding anything, any ideas or information, or if you'd like to connect with us for fundraising type stuff, or if you'd like to connect with us, period, just email at contact@soulworksynergistics.com. That's the email. All right. Inquisitive, truthful, realistic, undiplomatic. Ooh, information that can help you, but which may also be difficult to hear. Speaking the truth with kindness. An indigo child or adult. Mm. So, are you guys familiar with the term indigo? Are you familiar with what that is? Because indigos are just like total fire starters. We totally have this energy and mindset about us that it sets us apart. So we can totally be very just chill. We're actually pretty chill most of the time. But when we see injustice, whether it's directed at us or someone else, that really triggers us into action. So this is a person who's going to be able to speak truth to you. I'm wondering if they see an injustice with the way you regard yourself. Ooh, this is going to be a deep conversation. If you have a conversation with this person, it's going to be deep. Mhm. Mhm. It's going to be a very, very deep conversation. I'm like, it's going to be deep. Let me just keep going before I run out of time. Uh-huh. Honorable, devoted, mature, warm-hearted. Look at the way he's standing. A romantic partner you can trust. Excellent advice that comes from the heart. Getting involved in a cultural or creative endeavor. Look at that. Look at him. Look at him though. He's just like, hey, boo. With his stick and his necklace. His ooh. Is this you, Pisces? Is this your inner Pisces coming out? Excellent advice that comes from the heart. This might be your inner Pisces coming out. Why doesn't Michael ever dress like this? I'm going to request that whenever Michael shows himself to me, and then he'd be dressed like this rather than those ruffle sleeves and those skirts. Nothing wrong with the skirts, but it just feels like it needs to be modernized just a little bit, you know? Maybe if his skirt was more like a kilt instead of like a full skirt with like the petticoat underneath, maybe I could vibe with that a little bit more. I think the petticoat is what kills it for me. He's telling me to move forward with reading. Seven of Summer. No more procrastinating. Your power comes from making a decision. Confusion that arises from overanalyzing the options. I could have sworn these same cards came out yesterday. Am I tripping? I think these same cards came out yesterday. So, you know, this King of Summer over here totally needs to make a decision already and act upon it. That's the sense that I get. They need to make a decision and act upon it. I get kind of sick and tired of continuing to say, like, you need to make a decision and stick with it. So, whatever. Decide, don't decide. It's up to you. Card number 6, lovers. True love that is long lasting. Choices made from the heart. A return to good health. Well, I guess he made a decision. I guess he made a decision and stuck with it. Now you're stuck with him. I'm joking. I'm joking. I don't know if it's a him. It is someone who is making a decision. The Lover's card also ties into challenging the self, right? Where you're challenging yourself, you're challenging your perceptions, testing, whole bunch of tests. And it's almost like either you're going through tests or they're going through tests. And these tests are the very thing that's going to cause a realignment. Shadow self, speaking of tests. So the tests that come with the shadow self exploration, those are difficult tests. Very, very difficult. They jostle you around, they turn your life upside down, and then they ask you the test questions, ask you to be clear about what it is you want in your life, who you think you are. Do you know who you are? My eyes are itchy. Sorry. Do you know who you are at this point? At least like the bare minimum of who you are? Or are you still in a space where you're hiding in the shadows, afraid of your own shadow? But see, if you're hiding in the shadows because you're afraid of your shadow, you're immersing yourself into it, which that's okay. But it also will create a sense of like being overly exposed, being overly vulnerable, and that's going to create more fear. Okay. Just so you're aware. Card number 23 in reverse, moving forward. So someone is still ruminating over you, the thoughts of you, your energy, the effects that you have, all of these different things, all of these different things. They're not able to move forward in your absence. That's what I just heard. They're not able to move forward in your absence. Worlds within worlds. So this is someone who's trying to compartmentalize. Maybe it's you. Maybe you're trying to really, really compartmentalize like what you need to do. Ooh. Hmm. It's this sense of shining a light on all the compartmentalized things and becoming aware of what they've hidden within themselves. All of this fear. Hi, Lisa. All of this fear in the decisions that they're needing to make. I do see it's kind of like ball bearings, very dark in color, and they're being backlit, much like this is being backlit. And there's a whole bunch of ball bearings, and one by one, these ball bearings that were solidified, um, they become more gelatinous and eventually they burst. So it's kind of like every aspect that needs to be addressed is slowly being thawed out and then eventually addressed, probably one by one. I feel like this is a person who feels like they have a need to be meticulous in their considerations before they even approach you. They're for sure not going to forget about you. I mean, that's what their readings keep saying, that they think about you all the time, that you've had such a profound effect on their life. They can move forward. They need you. They need your support. They need your presence, whatever it is. For some of you, they need your lovin's. I don't know. I think that's funny. I'll stop. This is important. This is important to see. Vicky K says, I just let go of a man, a lot of issues, alcoholism. I know deep down it was self-preservation, but I feel so bad for the pain it's causing him. You can't allow yourself to feel bad for the pain he's causing himself. This sounds very cold for me to say, but at no point are you to sacrifice yourself in order to continue to enable his dis-ease with his life. Okay? Now, as an empath, it's going to feel painful to witness people in pain, especially if you've had a connection with them. What I like to do is remind myself pain is the greatest teacher. Now, unless I've intentionally inflicted the pain on someone, like my intention was malicious, I wanted you to hurt, then I have to remind myself, your pain is your growth, and I cannot rob you of that growth. I cannot interfere with your process of growing. I found that every time that I've allowed my compassion for someone to get me to step in and interfere with their process, um, I literally always end up being volunteered as the villain. No matter how much I help, no matter how selfless it is. And so I've learned I need to respect people's processes and allow them to process things on their own terms, in their own way. And it's hard. It is, but we have to make sure we don't take ownership of other people's pain. Okay. Thank you for commenting that, Vicky. You're not the only empathic person who feels this, who feels badly for other people's pain, especially if that pain coincides with our decision to be absent from their journey and their cycles. You so are not the only person. And it's a powerful thing to be able to immerse yourself, even for just the length of a live stream. It's a powerful thing to immerse yourself in an environment full of like-minded, like-hearted, very sensitive, very compassionate, empathic people. So just a quick reminder, guys. Empaths are not born, they're created. Yes, you can be born with a predisposition to become an empath, but they are created through the environment that you live in, especially in your early childhood. If you are in an environment that causes you to feel unsafe, you're probably going to become empathic, because you're going to need to learn to read your environment in order to survive it. Why am I a highly sensitive empath? Because of the environment. Okay. For For people wanting like some guidance, definitely encourage you. If you have a question, I encourage you to go to soulworksynergistics.com/Dear Emmy, Dear-Emmy, and that will give you the opportunity to ask a question. Card number 25, patience. Have patience with yourself. Have patience with this process. This is something that needs to be experienced either by you or by the other person, you know? Um, Patience is crucial. It's crucial, especially if you have the capacity to be patient for other people. I don't know why we do this, but it's almost like we don't allow ourselves to be patient with ourselves, right? Instead, what we do is give that patience to everyone else, but then we are so short tempered with ourselves. We have to consciously choose to stop doing that. We have to consciously choose to allow ourselves to sit in this centered space of peace. Card number 29 in reverse, shine. It's in reverse. Dulling your shine to make cave dwellers more comfortable is not going to help them exit the cave. Accommodating other people's toxicity does not help them to acknowledge the toxicity. Do you have to call everyone out? No, you don't. You don't have to. But you have to recognize that playing nice all the time is not being nice. It's adding to their distorted beliefs and views and perceptions. For me, if you ask me my opinion, there's a 50-50 chance that I'll give it to you. Me volunteering my opinion with complete strangers, no. No. I'm just going to leave that alone. Okay. I gotta leave that alone because it's not my place to rob you of your opportunities to learn. Right. Card number 3, be fearless, but it's in reverse. So again, it's this thing of being very fear driven, dulling your shine, you know, really dulling your shine because you're afraid that if you shine too bright, that you're going to offend people. You guys, I'm realizing I shine very bright. That doesn't make me better than anyone else in my eyes. It just means I'm more able to serve in the purpose I was created to serve, which is to help give you the clarity you're seeking. Right? Right. So I was so afraid of how my shine affects other people for much of my life. For much of my life. And even as an adult, I thought that if I dulled my shine, if I played like I was not as smart as I am, if I was more quiet, if I kind of was just a wallflower and, shrunk into the background more, that my presence would not be as offensive to people. Yo, these motherfuckers are offended because I exist. That's not my problem anymore. That is not my problem. It is not your problem. When people are offended that God chose for you to exist, they need to take that shit up with God. They need to go talk to their guardian angels and figure out how to file a grievance with God. Okay? You did not custom create yourself. You were custom created by divinity. And when people got a problem with you existing, that's not your problem. Because I tell you, no matter how much I tried so hard to shrink myself, to play small, to be sweet and meek, very mild, it still was offensive, the fact that I exist. No, no, I'm done with that. And because I'm done with that, I'm going to act and live as though I am done with that. You're offended by my existence? Take it up with God. I'm going to keep existing until God revokes my existence card. And the more I live in that state of just, you know what? I am who I am. I have room to grow. I have the capacity and willingness to apologize if it's necessary. I never do things in a malignant way. I never have a malicious intent. So there's no problem here. There's no problem here. I'm going to just keep working on growing myself so that I can better serve and provide more clarity, more support for other people, you know? Just not needing to prove anything anymore, not needing to go out of my way to try and get people to like me. Hey, not everyone's going to like me. It's okay. I won't hold it against you that you have bad taste in people. I can't help it whenever that topic comes up. I mean, not everyone not everyone can handle this. I'm joking. I'm totally joking. Okay. Oh, you know what? I always get accused of this. Do you pronounce your name Simone? Says, you're so right. It's all hate and jealousy. Someone accused me of thinking I'm perfect and fake. Yo, I had someone who was so pissed at me because I refused to teach them specific techniques because I knew they would hurt people, right? So I refused to teach them energetic work. And they got so mad off of me establishing a boundary in a very professional manner that they launched this entire public tirade of a campaign to destroy me, right? And one of the things that they accused me of was having fake, and I quote, fake titties. I was just like, you think they're fake? Oh my God. You think they're that perky? Oh my God. What bra was I wearing? What picture? Show me the picture so I remember what bra I was wearing. I'm going to buy more of those bras because, like I said, the last live stream, my nipples be having a conference with my belly button. It doesn't get more real than that. It doesn't get more real than that. The droopage is real. But like, instead of being offended, I was just like, oh, what? What? You think they're fake? And then another time I was live streaming and someone tried to be really nasty to me. I love it. Someone tried to be really nasty. I didn't see the comment, but I saw one of the people in the comments like, what the F are you talking about? And this person never cusses. And I was like, what's wrong? And I looked through the comments and someone says, Emmy, you need to go find a man instead of live streaming because you're pushing 40 and you need to pop some kids out soon. I was like, how old do you think I am? Oh my God, I've already popped out like hella kids. Oh my God, you think I'm less than 40? I'm approaching like mid 40s. Stop it. What age? Give me a number. I so wasn't offended. I so wasn't offended. Why do I need to be offended by someone else's perception of me? I know it's not true. I'm not going to play that game with you. People's words only matter when they matter to me. The reality is, if you are a stranger to me and my heart, and you want to say some really effed off stuff to me, honey, you don't matter to me. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm sorry. Oh my God, how sad. You thought you mattered to me. Damn, I'm so sorry you don't. You're a stranger to my heart. Like, this is the first time I'm seeing you comment. Obviously, you know nothing about me, so your opinion of me doesn't mean shit to me. Right? Right. You didn't even know that I've been married over 20 years. I'm just saying. You didn't even know that I got hella kids. I'm just saying. They thought I was pushing 40, baby boo. You think I'm in my 30s? Oh my God. I found it very ticklish. Transformation in reverse. It's kind of like this sense of just savoring the place they're currently at, right? Like they know that they're going to be going through a transformation very soon. and they're kind of just taking their time before they jump right into it. Ooh, and this one. Everyone doesn't deserve a front row seat in your life. Can I take that a step further? That carries with it the implication that your life, your divinity is a show, that it's entertainment for other people. My life is not a show. It is a very profound thing to witness. It is a very profound evolvement of a spark of divinity. There are no front row seats. There are no seats. There are simply people who are able to witness and people who lack the ability to comprehend. There's no seats. No one gets to sit down. You either stand beside me or you keep walking. And I think if we begin to live our life with those standards, with that type of perception for ourselves, all the other stuff begins to be inconsequential, insignificant, irrelevant. Be still. This stillness is necessary. I feel like the stillness is necessary because a lot of the distortions are rising back up. A lot of the attempts to it's the sense that someone reverted back into old patterns of toxicity. Like for a moment, maybe okay, so hypothetical hypothetical type of situation. So someone exited a toxic relationship, right? Very, very toxic. They've been in it for some time. They finally had enough and they exited. They exited and they've been broken up for some time now, maybe a few months, I don't know. And life is starting to improve and then suddenly they get triggered by something and they go back to the ex and they have relations and now that's reopened everything and they regret it. They're like, why did I do that? Now they're all obsessed, like they think we're getting back together. And it's like, I don't know why you did that. I don't know how you did that. So there's a need for stillness because their waters got shook up. Someone threw rocks into that pond. And so the surface is no longer still and they're not able to see their reflection as readily as they did when they had that stillness. They need to be able to see their reflection in order to make the choices that need to be made. Right? Right. So there are some choices needing to be made. Oh, so they're going to make these choices. They're going to shed their skin. They're going to return back to their royal state of sovereignty. It's a process. Card number 51, card number 46. It's a process. They have to go through that process. They don't really know. I feel like they don't really know that they're in the process. Sorry. And then card number 29, invoke the Oraphim. But see, it was in reverse. So it's kind of like a rejection of that soul connection, like pushing it away. I don't know. It feels like someone got butthurt. Feels like someone got butthurt. And so I don't know, maybe like they thought they would stick it to you by returning back to their toxic spaces. You didn't stick anything to anyone except yourself. It's kind of like self-sabotage, to be honest. That's how it registers. So if you're one of those people who thinks like, you get mad at someone that you love and you think that it will punish them by putting yourself in a situation that punishes you, it doesn't punish them, it punishes you. Because typically you're the only empath in your environment. If you're an empath, if you're aware of your intense empathy, typically you are one of the only empaths in your circle of friends. I mean, until you go through all of these different cycles that then help to put you in environments where you are surrounded by empaths, typically you are the only empath in your environment. For the longest time, I was the only one in my environment that was capable of doing the things that I do. It took a very long time for me to cultivate my environment to the degree that I'm surrounded now by people who are equals, people who are capable of doing what I do, which is see clearly, live my life with the level of integrity that I believe I deserve. Be loving, be soft, but also know I'm a fucking warrior queen at heart. And if she needs to go to war, baby boo, we gonna win that shit. We are going to win that. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to finally exist in my totality, where I can embrace all the different aspects of myself, not just be aware that I have these aspects that come together to create the whole, but to embrace all the aspects and to be immersed in an environment with you guys where not only is it okay for me to be myself, like I feel like you guys celebrate who I am. And that, oh my God, I'm going to cry. That is priceless. That is priceless. That wasn't given to me. I didn't fall into it. It was something that I had to create for myself. And when I created it for myself, it then opened up a space for all the reflections of me to hold space with me. We are reflections of each other. If you're in an environment where everyone is afraid to be different, you're never going to have permission to be who you are. Because the reality is we are all different from each other. As many similarities as we have the equal amount of differences. We don't have to be the same. We don't have to be at the same level of awareness. Every level is valid. It's valid. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to be able to exist in that space. Dark interference in reverse. Here's the thing. Yes, Diana, I'm bull thistle. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Bull thistle. I'm a wildflower growing haphazardly in the sun with no permission and no cares. Bull thistle. So, dark interference. As much as so many of us want to believe that every time, excuse me, every time something goes wrong in our lives, it's some type of demonic interference, oftentimes it's not. Oftentimes it's our own self-sabotage. It's our own refusal to take accountability. This applies to me as well. This applies to me as well. Do you know how powerful your thoughts are? Do you know that? It shapes the way you experience your entire life. It completely shapes the way you experience your entire life. Not just the moment you are currently in, but all the moments that come after that. Love it. Card number 27, intuition sigil. Intuition sigil. You need to allow your intuition to be the very thing that guides you. And then kind of just allow yourself to get to this place where you realize not only will your intuition guide you, you'll also be given confirmation when you ask for it. When you ask for confirmation after you receive that guidance, it gives it to you. Every single time I've asked for it, it gave it to me. My intuition gave me that confirmation. Whether they're axioms, memes, ads, whatever it is. Within minutes, I get my confirmation. Card number 43, rejuvenation sigil. For those of us that have, we're finding that we're shrinking back into ourselves, um, you are in a process of initiating your rejuvenation cycles. Okay. Um, it's kind of just one of those things where you take a look at a cactus. How can it live in this like very hostile, very inhospitable environment? And it's like, eek, eek. How does it do that? How does it like just continue to exist? Like it barely rains and the weather is just so extreme. There's no water. Well, because everything it needs, it brings into its core. It doesn't hold its energy, its life essence on the surface. I think for many of us, we're entering into the cactus phase of our journey, where in order to preserve ourselves, we're now refusing to exist on the surface level, to exist at that depth. Is beautiful, but gosh, it can feel so very like um lonely sometimes. Even in a room full of people, um you still feel so alone because you're at such a depth. And here's the thing, I've always been a very, very deep person. I've never really been superficial. Like, it's very hard for me. It's very hard for me to get to a point where uh, I'm not intense. I'm just always intense. But most of that intensity, I just keep deep within me. Um, and whatever happens, I, for the most part, keep that intensity inside me. And because I used to do that so much, I felt very lonely. I felt like no one understood. I felt like, just people just will never understand me. They'll never get it. Well, because I never gave anyone the opportunity to witness my depth. I just didn't. I didn't. You look at videos of me just from a couple years ago on Facebook and look at videos of me speaking now. I'm like a different person because I am. I'm now allowing my depth to be witnessed. It's not my job to be the lifeguard. You know what the ocean is. You know the ocean can drown you. I will no longer play a puddle or a pond or a lake or a stream or a river. I'm the whole motherfucking ocean. And if you can't swim, keep your ass on the shore. As a matter of fact, go to the cliff top and watch from there. No more. I have an ease about myself and my life at this point because I realize it is not my job to play your babysitter. It is not my job to make sure your feelings don't get hurt because I am being who I am. Again, I don't say or do things with maliciousness. I don't. Sometimes the delivery can be a little bit gruff. Yes. Sometimes I become impatient with specific topics. Yes. But this is who I am. This is who I am. Okay. Mods, please ban that obnoxious person. Card number 19, awaken in reverse. Some people like to present things as the concept of awaken, right? But are you really woke? And I think the thing here is, this: you were never asleep. And if you have to buy into the concept of now I'm woke, you're still not aware. You're still playing into the roles that other people are setting for you. I am not woke. I am not spiritual. I am not anything outside of specific titles that I have affixed onto myself. Mother, wife, CEO, president. That's enough to slap the truth into somebody. That's enough fingers to slap the truth into a mofo. I don't need to be starseed. I don't need to be Lyran. I don't need to be Pleiadian. I don't need to be Syrian. I don't need to be any of those things. Not saying those things are bad. I don't need to be any of those things that are not within my human experience. I'm actually all of those things. But that has nothing to do with the human experience. Mother, wife, CEO, president. That's enough to slap some motherfucking truth on that. I'm not just going to sprinkle it. I'm going to slap it on there. Only if I need to. Only if I need to. And see, that's the thing. We allow ourselves to be so convoluted by like, oh, wait, oh, Lyran? I never heard of Lyran. Am I a Lyran? Oh, yes, I'm a Lyran too. I'm a Lyran too. And it's like, who cares? Will that help you to live your human life? Will that give you a deeper sense of peace? I have not met a single starseed, Lyran, Pleiadian, Syrian, Arcturian, Triangulum founder, architect of light, morphogenetic recodement person that found peace with those titles. I literally have not found a single one. The peace comes from you accepting yourself in your human form. Hence the reason the two first things that I mentioned, mother and wife. And that's it. My businesses could fail. They could be shut down today. I will forever be a mother and a wife. That can never be taken from me. Ever. Ever. It does not matter how old my children are. I will always be their mother. That will never be taken away from me. Ever. Ever. Find who you are. There is someone who is seeking you out because you give them the clarity by simply being present. If you can have that effect on someone, how unfair to not allow yourself to have that same effect on you. That is so unfair. I used to only love other people. Me, I'm just a toss away, right? It's just like no biggie. As long as everyone's eaten, it doesn't matter if I'm hungry. As long as everyone has what they need to be comfortable, it doesn't matter that I need a blanket because I'm cold, that I don't have a pillow, that this position is going to hurt my back and injure me again. Like, it doesn't matter, but it does. It does. How do you know that you've grown? Because you can include yourself in the group that you love. How do you know that you're healing? Because you're no longer just interested in healing other people. How do you know you're reaching higher levels of divinity? because you understand you too are divine. And whatever you're willing to do for other people, you must be also willing to do for yourself. I'm healing. I'm not completely healed yet. And it's not this thing of, oh no, I mean, you can't say that. You have to claim full healing. No, I don't. Don't ever fucking tell me how to live and exist. I can claim whatever the hell I claim. I own that. Okay? When I say I am still healing, this opens me up to actually be fully present in this moment. You see, when you say, no, I'm already healed, it's just taking time for me. No, you're ignoring where you're at. You're trying to be at an end zone. How's that going to help you? No, I am here right now in this position of actively being present as I heal myself. Absolutely. I'm not here just to be able to spout accomplishments. Honey, I have a lot of accomplishments. I don't feel like talking about those things because they really have no relevance to other people's life. I accomplish things not to prove things to other people, but to prove to myself that I could do it. And I did it. And that's all I need. And now, the thing that I'm focused on is to prove to myself I can heal in the most compassionate, most loving way possible, a way that honors myself and my soul, a way that's centered in the heart of me, a way that's full kokoro. Mm, mm. Kokoro is a very old Japanese term. That's a center point between the mind, the heart, and the soul. My energetic system is called Kokoro 33, where you're taking that center point and you're raising it up to an ascended master status. Love it. But here's the thing. The word itself takes me to a space of when I used to live in feudal Japan, when I lived by the code of Bushido. Mm-hmm. One of the tenets of that code that every honorable samurai would live by: you never fight an unworthy adversary. You just don't. So how does that tie into what I'm talking about? Well, the parts of me that I'm fighting are unworthy adversaries. They are the toddlers of my shadows. Go back and watch the Soul Sanctuary podcast episode on the shadow self. They are the toddlers of my shadows. That's not a worthy adversary. I cannot do that to myself anymore. I refuse. I refuse. Get to a point where you refuse to fight yourself just because someone told you there's a fight that's brewing. No, there's not a fight brewing. There's an opportunity to further expand my awareness of myself and my placement within my life, the way I affect other people and other people's effects on me. It's a very beautiful exchange that occurs. Very, very beautiful exchange that occurs when you allow yourself to be present, to receive as well as to give. You weren't created to be anyone's spiritual bank where people can keep coming to you and making withdrawals. And then you wonder why you feel so bankrupt inside. I know, because I allowed myself to go bankrupt emotionally so many times for people that I knew from the start were writing checks their ass could not cash. And when you know that these are the people that stand before you, are they taking advantage of you, or are you volunteering to be taken advantage of? Hence, I can't really be mad at anybody. These are things I volunteered for. Yes, they took advantage of the fact that they knew I'd volunteered. So I still volunteered. Okay. I'm not going to waste my time and my energy in trying to spin it so that I could feel like I'm a victim. No, I learned what I needed to learn. I applied it in life, and that's beautiful. And that's that. That's that. Oh, but I mean, people did you blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I volunteered for it. I thought I had to. I learned that I don't. And that's that. Oh, does that mean you'll still be friends? No, 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 no. No, no. I'm not going to spend my life vilifying you because that's what you do, right? Nor are you going to be my friend because now I know you. Oh, but Emmy, that's not forgiveness. Oh, honey, I wasn't here to forgive. See, I don't hold on to that. So I don't need to go through the process of signing up to be part of the forgiveness program because that's another finger in the hand of shame and guilt. That hand they use to control you. I don't need closure. I don't need to forgive. I don't need forgiveness. I need to see what this event was teaching me about myself. I need to learn that. And then I need to carry forward with no hatred in my heart, just carrying forward. Right? People are so big on the whole forgiveness program. Well, forgiveness, you need to forgive because, you can't hold that poison inside of you. Oh, I'm not. I No. When I walked forward, I stopped sipping on that poison. So why do I need to you're saying I need to go into a detox program when I've already detoxed the toxicity out of my life? And when I enter into that detox program, I'm going to spend all that time identifying as a victim? No. See, my main gripe with the forgiveness program is in order to participate in that, you have to first identify yourself as being so weak that someone else was able to strong arm you into being their victim. No, honey, you didn't strong arm me into anything. I volunteered for that shit. I volunteered to like experience that. And that's kind of just what it is. No, I'm not your victim. I mean, you are pretty dickish for doing what you did. You know, I'm probably never going to interact with you again. I don't like dickish people. But to require that I identify as your victim, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Yeah, I'm sorry. Did you need me to volunteer as your victim? Because I'm not going to. I'm just not going to. No, make me. Hmm. I said what I said. Make me. Make me volunteer to be your victim. They don't have that type of authority over you. They just don't. And I've had some people do some really fucked up stuff to me. No, I'm not your victim. No, I didn't deserve it. No, I'm not going to own that as though I deserved it. No, that shame is yours. My closet are for my clothes, not for skeletons. Nor is it my job to protect your secret. And that's why I can be at peace with myself in my life. That is why I can be at peace with myself and my life. Attract sigil. When you go through this process and you give yourself that permission, you begin to attract to you the very things that are symbiotic with you. Now, when your light shines bright and you choose to remain in the shadows, you will probably begin to attract the moths. Okay? Just be aware of that. Galactic heritage in reverse. So with the galactic heritage card, this ties into what I was talking about. Who gives a damn what you were in previous lives? Like, I remember quite a few of my previous lives. My former names are in history books. I wasn't a good person for some of them. I just wasn't. I was a bit dickish. It's okay, though. It's okay. But who cares? I'm not that in this life. Who knows? The name in this life might be in history books too. Who knows? Depends on how willing I am to live the life I was designed to live. It's okay. Doesn't make me any better. Just makes me different. Newsflash. We're all different. All of us. All of us. And no, it's not me being humble. That's what I truly believe. If my name in this life were to be in history books again, it would be to remind all the future peoples that have yet to be born the importance of living as a village, caring for each other, loving each other, empowering each other, returning to that space of Ubuntu. Love it. I co-sign that. I'd co-sign that. Absolutely, yes. I would. I would co-sign that. Absolutely. If the utterance of my name takes you back to this space of, you know what? No, we're not fighting. We're establishing an even deeper sense of peace. Fuck yeah, write my name all over the walls. Do it. Write my name all over the walls. Who cares? And this is really about falling into what your purpose is, allowing yourself to deep dive into it and just marinate in that purpose. Not out of ego, not out of a sense of like you're superior to other people. There are so many of you who know nothing about what I know. And yet I can learn so much from you because you know all the things that I don't know. That's a beautiful exchange. I share with you, you share with me, we both become empowered. And then we seek people who know things that we don't know. And we share with them and they share with us. And then the world becomes this beautiful, empowered place. Not because one person decided, but because simply one person had the courage to start. Where's your courage at? It's not going to be one person that changes the world. It might be one person that inspires everyone else to change it right along with them, shoulder to shoulder, as equals. As equals. That's so important to me. As equals. One never being higher than the other unless your positioning is simply to help better be visible to those who need to see. And that's it. That's it. That's it. That would be the only reason why you're placed above others. Because as a candle, proper placement is necessary to maximize illumination. That's it. Lindsay says, they're going to further restrict me, but do it anyways. She says, annoy Facebook and YouTube so much that they won't restrict me anymore. Share some more and share. Seriously. They can only restrict so much. If you share it out, it kind of tips the scale the other direction. Card number 42, redirection sigil. Oh, that's right. Redirecting it. However far you're pulled back, once you release, you will be redirected forward. That's it. There's no need to shame yourself for how far back and blah, 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 blah. But I worked so hard to move forward. Okay, but look, you're an arrow. When you let go, you're going to fly forward at an accelerated, amplified rate. It's not a bad thing. Card number 21, growth. Grow. That's it. Grow. It's beautiful. Let's get a final card. I have been really feeling kiki lately. Kuan Yin guidebook. Kuan Yin Oracle. I'm going to go through the Kuan Yin Oracle. All right, here goes, guys. Ooh, ooh, she gonna boot upon people. Good for 36. All right, here goes. Card number 36, the dance unveiling. There is a situation in your life that's about to reveal itself to you with greater clarity. Just like sand shifting, the picture will seem clearer and quite different to how it once appeared to you. This clarity will bring you great relief and confirmation of your intuition. Be patient and allow the revelation to come to you at the perfect time. No forcing. Okay. No rushing, no forcing. Often, what we think we know is only a small part of the bigger picture. With some more information, what we think is the truth can shift, sometimes dramatically, and reveal a completely different reality. Sometimes we really imagine a situation, person, or place to be all that we think or feel it is, only to find that it's not quite that way after all. For some, that we think or feel that it is, only to find that it's not that way at all after some time and involvement has passed. There is an important situation in your life right now that's still unfolding, and you have yet to perceive it fully. It's safe for you to be patient and curious and trust what you feel is unfolding now, because you can feel it. You know what I mean? You can totally feel it. Don't rush to set things in motion, to form a structure, or even to make things concrete until you have had a chance to be clearer about this situation or process. There will be a time in the near future when you will realize that the graceful cosmic dance of Kuan Yin has unfolded and a veil has been lifted. At that time, you will realize that you are seeing much more clearly and accurately than you have previously been able to do. Only then will an appropriate course of action or non-action will be clear to you. Trying to apply effort or create results before that time will not cause the unveiling dance to unfold more quickly. Be patient and trust. Kuan Yin's dance of divine grace will touch this part of your life and bring you clarity. Go into your heart and listen for the music of her dance. This oracle is also confirmation that something you have recently perceived or will soon perceive is accurate. This perception may have been something of a surprise, shock, or stretch for you, and perhaps you're not quite comfortable with its implications as yet. And so you are doubting the veracity of your vision. Be patient and allow yourself to get used to the new truths that are revealing themselves to you now. The dance of Kuan Yin's grace brings not only revelation, but also opportunity and resolution. This opportunity to receive the resolution and implement it. What do you need to resolve in your life? What needs resolution? Is it time for peace to be established within your life, within your connections with others? That's powerful. You know why the world will never allow us in its current state to establish global peace? When we exist in peace, we become centered and balanced. And as we become centered and balanced, we can no longer be destabilized. And as we continue to expand our stability, we can no longer be controlled. Our fear, our sense of lacking, that goes away. And when you're not afraid, when you don't exist in a poverty mindset anymore, in a state of scarcity, you have no reason to compete and compare. Instead, we begin to co-create. They'll never give us permission to have peace. Fuck their permission. We never needed that permission. All we needed to do was no longer comply with all of these programs that encourage us, that force us to fight with each other and compete and compare. I don't give a shit what you accomplish. I just want you to accomplish it and feel whole. You are not my competition. I am not my competition. We are both created by creation. We don't need to compete. We just don't. You were made for something else. There might be overlaps in some of our purpose, some of our abilities, but I promise you, I am not you. You are not me. I could never replace you. And I promise you, you'll never replace me. So let us both stop trying to do that and instead come together and become empowered, because where I'm weak, you're probably fucking strong. And when we come together, we're even stronger. This world's not going to give us permission to build villages that will empower us and return us back to our original state. What's our original state? Peace. Look at your birth. When a child is born, typically, what happens in those first few minutes? Absolute peace. Just peace. Not much conversation, just peace. Just peace. That's our original state. That's the original state. That's our birthright. That's it, right there. That's it. So let's go back to it. Slowly, surely, no rushing, no forcing. This will happen because it's meant to happen. And that's it. It's a beautiful thing. Very, very beautiful thing. Wow. You're one of the most beautiful souls. I hope you know that, Universal D. You're one of the most beautiful souls. You have a kindness and a gentleness that you don't see in many people anymore. I'm not surprised you didn't cry when you were born. I'm not surprised at all. You were born with a knowing that didn't need to be communicated. Why do babies cry? Because they don't know any other way to communicate. They don't know any other way. Just saying. We can find other ways to communicate with each other. We can find other ways to support each other through this process. Guys, I got to get going. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed on YouTube, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell and join me when I'm live. If you are watching me on Facebook, give this video a heart, share it out, repost it, do anything and everything. Please tag me. Tag me in it. We have so many projects that are being established, other projects that are coming up. Go to soulworksynergistics.com for updates on everything. Okay. I have the raffle there. I have the Soul Sanctuary information there. The Dear Emmy is there. That's not for personal readings or energy work. That's for actual verbal guidance. Okay. I won't be using cards for that. Pretty much everything is there. You want to learn how I work energy? You can access my academy there. Yes, I run a full-on energetic academy. I teach people how to work energy the way I do. I was not taught. I did not read this in a book. I was born remembering how to do this. I also do private sessions. I'm running a certification program as well. There's so many things. If you are curious about the whole Emmy thing, go to soulworksynergistics.com. That has every possible thing you could ever want to know about me and what I'm doing right now. Go there. We will be establishing an online community on Soulwork Synergistics very soon. It's going to be a forum where we can come together as a village. It's going to have a portion we're calling it the Aquarius, because that's the think tank. If we're going to build this soul sanctuary as a village, an eco village, we want to make sure we have all the villagers' input. We want to do this together. This is not an Emmy project. This is a project for us humans, us souls, us divine beings who came here and agreed our paths would cross right now so that we could work together to change the world together. I'm just saying, this is not an Emmy project. This is a we thing. Okay. This is a we thing. Maybe we'll make some shirts that say this is a we thing, and the proceeds from that will be dumped into our soul sanctuary. I'm just saying, this is a we thing. All right, guys, I got to get going. Yes. Universal D, I can't wait to be one of the VVRs, virtual village resident. Come live with us virtually. I'm just saying. All right, guys, I got to get going. I love you guys so much from the deepest depths of my heart's oceans.